Fancy seeing you here. I was just watching my favourite TV show, Paw Patrol. You want to make some jam tarts? Okay, I better turn off Paw Patrol. Come with me to the kitchen. The ingredients and equipment you will need for these jam tarts are some weighing scales, a bowl, some sugar, some plain flour, some butter or butter substitute, and your favourite jam. My favourite
and an egg,
is
which you can see, but I forgot to
jam.
mention.
A butter knife, a pastry cutter, and some sort of rolling pin. Guys, welcome to my kitchen. Now the first thing we have to do before we start any cooking is wash those hands. So pause the video here so you big uns and little uns can wash those hands. Let's start weighing our ingredients, shall I? I'm going to start with the flour. My scales have a little hand on them that go like this. What kind of scales do you have? "250 grams of flour, careful when weighing your flour. I've already made so much mess and I have to clean it all up. By the power of television, it's all clean. Now let's weigh out our butter. There we go. That's our butter weighed out. Can you see where the line is? 125 grams. At this stage, I like to add in a tiny, weeny bit sprinkle of the sugar.
Use your imagination that there's sugar coming out.
I just do this because I think it makes your pastry extra crispy, and also I have a super sweet tooth. But obviously you can leave this out, okay? But it's nice with the sugar, do you know what I mean? It's sugar, it's good. Okay guys, now here comes the fun part. Can everyone go like this with their fingers? For this part, we just want to use the tips of our fingers because we want to keep the butter nice and cold so it gets all nice and crumbly. You want it to look like sand when we finish playing with it. I'll demonstrate for you now and then pause the video and crack on with your mama or papa or friend. Hey guys, now we need to crack our egg to add into our pastry. I'm going to try and do this one-handed and show off, but I might have to pause and come back to it. Oh, that was satisfying. Okay, so now we're just going to get our egg and pour it straight into this mixture. And then if you get a butter knife, okay guys, we want to go just like this with the tips of our fingers, rubbing the butter and the flour together. Now ideally you'd probably want a bigger bowl, but I could not find a bigger bowl. So I'm just using this one, so I'm going to be super careful. But pause the video now so you can start rubbing stuff in. And I'll come back to you when it looks like sand, okay? There you go, guys. This is pretty much what we're looking for. I used a margarine, so you can see mine are a bit more larger than sand-like. But if you use butter and it's colder, you'll be able to get a finer crumb. But this is absolutely fine, and margarine is something everyone's got, so I think it's quite good for baking with. What do you think, kidlets? I think it's looking pretty good. Butter knife and give it a good mix together. We should start to have our pastry.
So the egg is now in the pastry. I just put the
like
clips
this,
the wrong way round,
but
together. It's hard work, this editing
Maybe do
stuff.
this for a minute or so, and then the fun part, we get to put our hands in and work it a little bit like Play-Doh. There we go. Sorry about the dodgy camera work. I'm doing this one-handed with a selfie stick. There we go. Perfect. Just turn the pastry out, guys, because this is ready for some good old-fashioned kneading. And if you guys have made pasta with me at nursery before, or Play-Doh, this is exactly what we do, the same thing. So mummies and daddies and children, make sure you don't over-squish this too much, because we want this to be lovely and crumbly and delicious. So pause the video now. There you go, guys. After all that hard work, you should have something that looks like this. So it's holding together, it's nice, and you can still see it's a bit crumbly, which is perfect. So we're just going to pop our pastry in some cling film like so, because it's pretty tight, guys, so it needs a little rest. And for the grown-ups that care, this is just to relax the glutens. So when we bake it, it won't shrink to the size. It'll be nice and chilled and cook out lovely.
We
So
also want the butter to firm up at this point as well.
Like so. There you go. Here's my beautiful fridge, fully stocked with frozen lasagna for the lockdown. There we go. So while that's resting, clean up your section like I need to do. Have a chill, have a cup of coffee, kids. Do you know what I mean? Just have a chill and it's all good. Oh, I was just resting while my pastry was resting. Let's go check on it. And while your pastry's resting, don't forget to set your oven to 180 for the perfect golden brown bubbly delicious jam tarts. So now guys, ourselves and our pastry is nice and rested. It's time to do some damage with our trusty rolling pin. Now if you guys don't have a rolling pin, there's lots of other things you can use. Maybe a wine bottle that mummy and daddy have left over from last night when you were asleep. But I'm going to use a rolling pin. Now if you guys were organised unlike me, you hopefully have a little bit of flour left over for dusting. Unfortunately I'm not organised, so I've used up all my flour. So I'm just going to roll my pastry out between 2 bits of cling film. There you go guys, as you can see, between 2 bits of cling film. I'm only doing about 1/4 of the pastry in one go because that's more than enough, and that pastry will freeze amazingly well if you just want to make 2 or 3 for a little treat and then save some for later. So let's just get our rolling pin and start going for it. Blooper. Lovely. Now we want to get this to about the thickness of a £1 coin. There we go. I'm pretty happy with that, guys. As you can see, I've got my trusty cutter. I'm going to push down. Lovely. And then hopefully, as you can see, it's quite crumbly, but that's absolutely fine. Pop it in here. I'm just looking after an avocado at the moment in there. There we go. One beautiful little pastry tart. Now it's time for the jam to go in. So 1 nice teaspoon, guys, of jam. Pop it in like so. And this will melt and spread out. Like that. And do you know what else you could do, guys? You could always decorate yours with your letters. I think I'm going to put a K for Kate. There you go, guys. I've done a K for Kate. What letters can you make? Now here's the exciting part. We take all our raw ingredients and we're going to make them into something we can eat. How exciting! So let's pop them in the oven. There's our jam tart. So we're going to cook him for 10 minutes and see how he looks. And if by magic our 10 minutes is up and out comes our yummy, scrummy jam tarts. Now make sure you get a grown-up to do this, kids, because this is crazy hot. As you can see from the bubbling jam. Hey guys, so now our jam tart is out the oven. We're going to leave it to cool for about 5-6 minutes because as you can see, the jam has just stopped.
So from this point onwards, my editing was a bit of a shambles. So I'm just going to chat to you a little bit and tell you something interesting, like why is the sky blue? I don't have no idea, but I'm just trying to cover up some really dodgy editing. So here you go.
And there we have it, guys. One delicious homemade jam tart. Now, I always like to eat my jam tarts on my special cake plate from my mum and dad. Shout out to Ruth and Phil. So let's give it a go. That is amazing, guys. So give it a go at home and show me your pictures of your jam tarts. See you soon. Bye.